What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. I'm your man Blocker. I got my man the angry Puerto Rican Anthony with me. I got good lighting today, and I'm off today. It's a good day, but it's an even better day because we got another amazing guest. That seems to be a theme, which I'm really, really proud of. Another amazing guest that will be joining us. And just to give you a bit of an introduction before I bring him on, man, I got so for those of you who follow me and know me and have watched my sports broadcasting career, y'all know how much I love high school sports and sports in general, man, and amateur sports and the opportunity to get to work with folks. I take a lot of pride in it. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of effort. So getting to see kind of what I'm praying my future looks like is the plan. So that's the really cool thing today. And then just a sports journalist, a knowledgeable sports analyst that's going to be joining us today. So we definitely looking forward to it. But before we do that, I gotta shout out my man, the angry Puerto Rican Anthony Roman. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? What's up, man? Thanks again for another week, man. Another week, another great interview today, man. I think, man. I'm hoping this can be
episode 6, and
this is episode 6.
Wait, listen, 6
They ain't cut us off yet. Wow,
that's because we're keeping the swear jar low. We're doing good.
Hey, we up to like $16 in the swear jar, by the way. We up to like 16.
Last week between the boxers and the and then Francine, her tropical storm Francine did a lot, man. So look, man, we got a lot to
I did tell you last week. Just real quick. I did tell you, hey man, is that storm gonna hit you? And you said, nah. Towards the end of the show, I had to cover the whole end of it because you had what? A power outage because Francine came and said, hello. You thought I wasn't here?
Yeah, she made her presence known. And look, I'm only right about sports. Sometimes I'm wrong about other things.
You would be a horrible weatherman. You would be a horrible weatherman. I'm just letting you know that right now. Like, you could not get on TV and be like, hey, man, hey, it's gonna be it's cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Yeah,
that's you. So I'm just saying.
You said it. I disagreed. You said it. Maybe I was wrong. Who knows? So look, man.
All I want to say is thank you. Let's have a great. I almost swore.
You almost got there.
Let's have a great show.
It's gonna be an awesome show. So look,
I haven't put nothing in the swear jar. I only owe $1.
From being an angry Puerto Rican, that's saying a lot. I'm very proud of that. I will say. So without further ado,
let me change that. Wow.
The owner of Bootheel Sports Network, my friend, and you're gonna learn to love him, Mark Manley. Everybody, welcome in Mark Manley, Bootheel Sports Network. Mark, man, pleasure to have you on.
Mark, man, thanks for having me. And that key, you can't be too angry if you only owe $1 to the swear jar. I would have thought it'd been the other way around. When your name says angry Puerto Rican, I'm figuring, man, you probably had all $16.
Nah, actually, to be honest with you, it's all been Blocker. It's all been him.
You're gonna have to put an angry Blocker up there.
Might as well. I think we're gonna need to do something.
Well, before I can do that, I gotta make salsa as good as your angry salsa. Then
I appreciate it, man. Hey, Mark, let me know when you need some salsa, man. I'll go ahead and send you. I'll ship you some salsa to you.
Yeah.
I'm about to send you my address right now.
Hey, man, go ahead, and send it, man. I got pineapple mango. I got devil's breath, which is made with ghost peppers. I got a spicy and a mild. You just tell me what you want, and you could use that pineapple mango. By the way, you could use it to marinate. You could definitely use it to marinate your fish, your steak, your chicken, your shrimp. You can use it. Just add a little water to it, man. It's so good. I have never had it. It is my best seller. It is my pineapple mango.
Yes. I normally don't do the sweet and salty together, but that sounds fantastic.
Man, it's great. It's great, man. It's for every look. Hey, I just want to let you know, Mark, you can do it whenever you watching the game. You watching Sunday night. You angry at your wife. You just say, hey, here you go. I got you. Here's some angry salsa. And you yourself could be a happy, angry customer.
That's my favorite
I'm just saying.
part, man.
I'm just saying.
My favorite part, man. So look, man.
Is that a grandma's recipe too?
Actually, no. It took me when I started doing salsa, it took me about $400 to $500 to create recipes and think about it and do all of this. So I started selling it during COVID, and it became a really big hit out here in Arkansas. I've shipped it to Texas, I've shipped it to Washington, I've shipped it to New York, and it's better than these are not me saying it. These are the reviews I've gotten from these places. They say, hey man, your salsa is better than what we get in the stores.
Wow.
And so I've never had an issue with it. I can my own jar. So like my pineapple mango been sitting up here 2 weeks. I got a jar of pineapple mango right now, waiting for this guy to come pick it up for 2 weeks, but it's still good. I just had a buddy just try it, and he went through it in 1 day.
Because when you make
he had it on this, he had it on his counter for 2 weeks before he actually opened it. So it to me, I know I'm giving a great product. I know I'm giving you the best product you could possibly have. So that's just me, and I make it with love. So you're gonna taste that love in general. And you know how you cook. I'm pretty sure you cook.
Barbecue man.
When you make food with love, everybody loves it.
You make food.
If you make it angry, granted, even though my name is the Angry Puerto Rican, but if you make it angrily or you mad or you upset, you can take you can taste the discrepancy in the recipe. You
can definitely taste it. And one of the things that so living down here in Louisiana, man, I didn't believe him, and he said that for a long time, and it was just like whatever. But man, living down here, you start learning the kind of some of these recipes. I can tell you a lot of these Cajun recipes down there, man. What I can't, there's some magic or some voodoo or some love or something. It's different when you get one of these folks in this area to cook it as opposed to everywhere else. So it's pretty. He's spot on when he tells you that making it with love makes all the difference, man. No,
it really is.
Yeah.
But man, Mark, man, great to have you, man. Like I'm super excited to talk to you, man. Man, just watching what you do. In general, what you do for these high schools, man, is really highly inspirational. It's highly impressive to see what you have done and how you've grown. But I want to ask you, can you tell the people how you started, man? Like what got you to doing this?
Yeah, so I started in radio back in 2018, and best year to start too, by the way. So football team went 15-0 and won a state title. So you couldn't ask for a better start than that on a radio career. But needless to say, we were always on the AM station, and our games were never streamed. So I stayed with the radio station a couple of years and got kind of frustrated being on the AM station. They did add us to a FM station, but didn't stream. So it's like, and didn't cover no basketball, by the way, either. So I was like, come this basketball season, I'm going to start streaming games to see how we do. And that's kind of where the streaming started in basketball season. And probably it's our third year streaming. It'd be our fourth year streaming basketball, third year in football. So that's how we got started. And I named it the Bootheel Sports Network because we are in the Bootheel, Missouri. And most people forget about us way down here. They assume that we're part of Arkansas when we're really not. We're still in Missouri. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad we're not part of Arkansas. When that purchase came across years ago, I'm so glad that happened because I cannot stand Arkansas and the Razorbacks. But I can't stand the Arkansas State.
I'm out.
Indians in my days, but now it's Red Wolves.
Way back in the day.
I'm out. I gotta go.
You're dating yourself, Mark. The Indian. My sister went to school as an Indian, and now they're the Red Wolves. And that's
I was an Indian too.
You cool
Hey, that's
running
the
and shit
Larry
by yourself?
Latesville days, though.
I gotta
Yeah,
go,
that was-
man. He don't like the Razorbacks. I gotta go, man. I gotta go.
Oh, well, look. So we've already got another date booked. Then when we're gonna all come get together for the Battle Line rivalry. Then I like.
Well, we're gonna have to.
There
We
you
definitely
go.
gonna have to.
That'll be
We
a
go
blast.
every year.
Awesome. It's in Columbia this year, or is it down in Fayetteville?
No, it's in
it's in
Columbia.
Oh, that's
We went to Fayetteville last year, and they just couldn't stop Schrader. So I think, matter of fact, he might still be running. He's got like Forrest Gump still running.
Stop for it. No, man. Look. So here's been the fun thing about this rivalry. You know, like, so one of the things about rivalries is that you can't force them, right? They got to be organic. There's got to be some real. I hate to use the word hate, but there's got to be some tension there to make this work. And so, you know, when they brought out the rivalry, it's been what, 11, 12 years or something now, right?
12.
You look back and think about it. It feels like it was literally a week ago that we were doing this, and I hated the name, and I hated, you know, the whole concept. And they took the, you know, what for us was LSU week, right? And so then we're fussing about all of that, and the whole time we go up. I think either y'all came down, whatever the case was. It was supposed to be an easy win for Arkansas, and wouldn't you know it, Missouri puts a foot in our butt, and here we go. I guess they put a boot heel in our butt.
That's right.
Hey, the one thing that I can say, I was one of those fans with a actual neck brace. That was an enjoyable time just to troll Bobby before he came back to Arkansas. It was so great to troll Bobby, and everybody in the stands had neck braces on. Okay, so that was probably one of my greatest and fondest memories of a Arkansas Razorback Mizzou Tiger rivalry of us doing that. That was great.
So
that was great.
Well,
did you come in? What, hey, Mark, let me ask you. Did you come in with a neck brace?
No, I'll tell you what, man. Has he rode a motorcycle since?
I hope not.
I believe he still rides a motorcycle.
Does he?
Man.
I believe he still drives a motor. He rides a motorcycle, but I don't think he has another girl on there. Just by the way,
he don't have a blonde on the back.
Yeah, he doesn't have a blonde on the back. So I think we're all in good contention right now. I'm sorry, Razorback fans. I'm sorry I'm bringing this up, but I had to. I had to ask Mark, man. I had to ask Mark if he, you know, came to the stadium with a neck brace, man. Did he troll Bobby? I had to make sure.
So we got look. So I see you got a few folks from your part of the world checking us out, Mark. Man, just feel free to say hello to them, and B, you know, give us a start on some of the things that you got planned going forward with the Bootheel Sports Network.
So every Wednesday we do a coaches show with the two local high schools of Carruthersville, which is where I'm at now at my office in Carruthersville, and then where I live at Hayti. The two towns are only 5 miles apart, and they are rivalries. But we got a sponsor called Home Plate Sports Bar and Grill that opened up last year, and we are doing live shows there every Wednesday night. Starts at 7 o'clock. We call it Tiger Talk for Carruthersville, and then Tribe Talk for the Hayti Indians. And we interview the players of the week for each high school team, and they're treated real well as they get a game ball and a free meal there from Home Plate Bar and Grill. So we interview them. Of course, we talk to the head coaches, and we try to get some assistants on if we can, but have yet to land at any of them. So I guess there's stage fright or whatever. I don't know what's going on with them. And then, of course, all ball games on Friday night. We've got 3 local teams we cover every Friday night now. We cover the Hayti Indians, the Carruthersville Tigers, and now the Portageville Bulldogs, which is a school about 14 miles up the road north of us. So pretty good coverage. And then basketball, we have a lot of schools we cover, man. So we have really grown, man. I got a good crew. And I'm going to give a shout out to my crew. Jeremy Abrams does the play-by-play for Carruthersville on Friday nights. Charlie is his nephew, runs the camera. And I better shout out my camera lady, who is my wife, Tina Manley. So that's more important than old Charlie there.
You almost put yourself on the couch this weekend, by the way.
Yeah.
I think you almost put yourself on the couch this weekend.
And then we got Chris Brown, who is going to be the voice of the Portsville Bulldogs, and his wife will run the camera for him, Tisha Brown. So that's where we're at right now, man. And then we got my nephew Sherman, who does a lot of the writing as far as the scores, keeping up with the scores on Friday night for us and posting all that action for us as we are on the road traveling for that. So that's where we are right now. And we actually got a major road game coming up as we travel all the way to St. Louis, which is about 3 hours from 3.5, 4 hour bus ride from where we live.
Wow.
So,
well, man, that's a pleasure, man. Go ahead,
Look, I'm sorry, man. I just gotta ask, man. So when you're doing all of these travel, you're traveling and stuff like that, man. What goes into traveling and making sure you're set up and you're getting everything? Like how early do you get to the game? What time do you get to the game? Like, how do you plan all of this out, man? To get everything set up for when you're commentating and you're calling on these high school games.
Well, last week with the weather being bad, we had some of that remnants of the hurricane there too. So it was coming downpour. We got there quite a bit early, man, a few hours. And normally I try to get there at least an hour and a half before game and get set up. And what goes into that is you call the school that you're going to before, let's say like on a Tuesday, I'll call them and get everything lined up, get the Wi-Fi information, make sure I got room in the press box and all that good stuff there, man.
Oh man, that's dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like what you're doing, and I don't know. I mean, if Blanca's actually said this before, but man, we're trying to do what you're doing. And I'm a journalist. Okay, I graduated from school at the University of Arkansas. By the way.
Well, that's the wrong journalist school. Missouri's got the best one.
Whoa. We're not doing that.
We're
not doing that.
Proven fact.
Look,
Here, I'm about to pay you $1 for your swear jar here. We whoop your ass in journalism and football.
Okay.
That's fair.
Hey, now, Block, he's really gonna turn into the angry Puerto Rican.
Angry. Hey, man. So I got a question for you, man.
All right, buddy.
One of the things that I've always wanted to talk to about someone who does journalism. I've talked to Blanca a lot about this, but I wanted to ask your question. I want to see your answer on this. What are your thoughts about athletes taking journalists, real people who went to school for going to journalism, like doing this, and they're able to get out of the retirement and get into a booth? Like that bothers me. I don't know if it bothers you, but what do you think about that? And what is your answer? And how do you feel?
Man, it's funny you bring that question up. We just had this discussion the other day, me and somebody and they were talking about a player that, I think it was Tua with all his concussions coming up. Yeah, and I was like, well, he's going to be all right. I mean, as soon as he leaves football, they probably put him up in the booth and he'll get all the interviews and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's right at all, man. But, you work hard to I don't know, further your career, and it seems to get kicked to the side by a pro athlete which I know their knowledge is going to be great. They got more inside of the game and all that, but they don't need the money, right?
Well,
no, exactly, and I think that's where that's exactly where I get angry, I get mad, I get upset when I see a Tom Brady retiring, and now he's in the booth, calling games, and
not well, by the way.
He's doing a horrible job. Tony Romo is the GOAT. If Tony Romo literally can leave football after his disaster seasons he had with the Cowboys. By the way, shout out to the nasty, disgusting Cowboys. But for him to get into a booth and do what he does is great. I love it. I love watching him analyze a game. I think he's one of my favorites, and it took me a little bit to get adjusted to listening to him. But it bothers me because we go to school for journalism. We put our 4 years in for journalism. We do all of these takes.
Or more.
Or more, exactly. And you can be you could be a football player or a basketball player, and guess what? Now you're getting interviewed to be as a commentator, or you get to call these games, and you're taking away jobs from people who went to school for it. It bothers me. So how does that make you, like, honestly, how does that make you feel, man? Like, what do you like to say to the people that are watching, man? Like, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, like I said, man, guys that worked hard like you and all the followers there, man, and I just hate it for them, man, you know?
Well, but you know what? The cool thing is that we get opportunities like this and so with, like you said, with having like what Jeremy does as the play-by-play for your network and being able to work in different capacities, that does, technology has afforded us the opportunity now to be able to, for folks like that have gone to school for this for a long time, to be able to do the work. And so that's kind of the cool thing, but it stinks because, man, one of the things that, you know, I didn't go to school for journalism. I kind of fell into it, ironically, but I've always admired journalism. And so one of the things that was interesting was I started working with a network similar to what what Bootheel does, Mark. And we started hiring and giving sports journalists, college students, the opportunity to come work with our network. And so these are people who were fighting for positions and fighting for the opportunity to get to do their craft, what they've been working on for years in school, right? Meanwhile, someone who has the knowledge, Tom Brady's got 20 years of NFL
I
experience,
don't care.
but when it comes to actually being a good color commentator, being someone who can contribute, I mean, I think he got $1 million per word he said or something to that effect. It was really, you know, it wasn't a good showing for him, and hopefully he gets better at it. But you know, you ask folks like Anthony and you that went to school for this to do the least or get the least to do the most, and then they pay people who've done the most, and then they are done the least and they get the most. You know what I mean? So it doesn't track well. So that for me, I'm thankful for networks like yours, Mark. I got a friend, Chris Dotson, who I worked with at the Southern Sports Network in Northwest Arkansas, who we try to provide these opportunities. So let me bounce off of Anthony's question for just a bit. And this is kind of off subject. We didn't off script a little bit, but down here in Louisiana, there is it feels like a monopoly, to be honest with you. But there's a communications company here who has sole broadcasting rights to broadcast high school football. Now, they can't do basketball, so the high schools will handle their basketball and baseball and other sports on their own. But football goes through this telecommunications company. So talk a little bit, if you've had this type of trouble, about because I know you said you call the school, you're able to kind of move in, and it seemed like it was pretty seamless for you, which I'm very happy for, because in my years at the Southern Sports Network, there was a little bit of a lot of pushback. There was a lot of pushback on getting us into the games, into the stadiums, getting the Wi-Fi. Talk about your experience there and your ability to work with schools and the things you got to do there.
Yeah, and it's also funny that you bring this up, because we just went through this last week. There is a big media company out here, and they're about an hour away from me, but and they was covering the game I was Friday night. Yeah. And, you know, Hayti is my team, you know, so I graduated there, went to school. I know everybody. My job here in Carrosville is in the community. So, you know, and that's helped too. Don't get me wrong, but there is a big budget company and I'll give you a fine example of what I went through last year with them during basketball season. Of course, basketball comes down to conference tournaments, district tournaments, state, whatever. So during the conference tournament last year, I called a local school because one of the teams I cover, and the name is Cooter, by the way. So we have a Cooter, Missouri, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and everybody loves Cooter. So But anyway,
Hey, man.
so they were in their conference tournament, and I went to cover them and called that particular school who was the host of the conference tournament that year, and they told me that this media company had the streaming rights.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? So is that where we're at? I was like,
Yeah.
so I made sure I called the school I covered and said, look, man, such has got the media streaming rights to this tournament, so make sure you get your cut, since they're handing money out.
That's right.
But
That's right.
I think I think it's just full of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And there's you another dollar for your square jar. Hell, I'm gonna owe more than you. Look, I also be the angry Bootheel Sports Network podcaster.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
No, but
But,
you're absolutely right, Mark. And so we talked about this off air, but one of the things that concerns me about when you start talking about name, image, and likeness, when you start talking about the amount of money that comes from high school, college, amateur sports, there is some things that need to be put in check as far as I've felt and I've gathered in my experience. And I know you're right there with me. And that's another reason why I'm super excited that, we get the opportunity to partner with you in any way we can and anything we can do to help make that work, because there's not enough people that are speaking up on this. There's people making money off of this high school sports, and you're a person, like you said, you went to Hayti, right? So Hayti in and out, and you know that area in and out. These guys that come in, they only want to shoot the camera. They only want to see specific things. And look, there's a lot of training. I'll admit, there's a lot of training. The coaches, the players, the like you said, the assistants get camera shy. There's already all of that to deal with. But then on top of that, now you got to fight these big companies that don't care about the city. They're not trying to put any money into it. So man, look again. And I told you I was going to tell you publicly, and I will. I'll say it 100 times over, man. We appreciate the work you do, especially for that part of the world where there's a lot of good football being played. There's a lot of great action, and it's probably getting missed. And if they are coming in to shoot it, it's not being, there's not that love and care and extra effort put in. Like,
Blocker, and to piggyback off what you just said, man. Mark, seriously, man, we really do appreciate that, man, because we need more people like you to get out there and showcase what these young individuals, and I say individual, I don't want to call them athletes. They're individuals. They are human. And me and him were talking last week. We were talking about, how people look at celebrities and they're like, oh, he's a celebrity. And they treat them where I need a picture. I need this, or I need this autograph. They're human beings just like us, man. They were God-given talent to put on a field or a court or a soccer field or a baseball field. Man, they're still human beings. And I feel like what you do is you're giving us an opportunity to watch these young individuals, these young athletes showcase their skills, and you're showcasing them in a professional manner. And that is awesome. To me personally, that is amazing.
And thank you. It's right on cue, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you guys for the kind words and for having me on and giving us some more exposure. And that's another thing I said, man. And this kind of angers me at the University of Missouri, even though I'm a big fan, season ticket holder. They kind of forget that they forget that we have athletes down here, and we have had a few go up there, but mainly our guys go to SEMO, which is up in Cape Dorado or somewhere else, and to give our kids exposure was one of the things that I wanted to look into, and because we got some great athletes. Like right now, man, Haiti's young. Got a lot of sophomores on their high school team. The starting quarterback who actually started a lot last year as a freshman. It's a sophomore, and he can sling the ball, man. And as he develops 2 years from now, man, if we talk again, he could be playing in the state title game and maybe getting exposure that he needed through us to help him get offers somewhere down the road. It's like, because you can go now, you research him and just pull his highlights up, Bootheel Sports Network games there. And by the way, there's a plug for my YouTube channel. It is the Bootheel Sports Network, where you can on YouTube and Facebook. So, you know,
Let's
and
go!
that's a major opportunity for kids to highlight that we've got. And Crothersville has got a beast, an Alexander kid, and man, he's averaging, you know, a couple of picks a game and returning them for, you know, 99 yards or whatever. He's got 2 or 3 return touchdown picks already, and that's a kid. And like last year, we had Jamarion Smith, who was a big car trophy winner. That's the big trophy in our area, and he's going to SEMO. So you know, props to, we got a lot of athletes who definitely need to be highlighted, and we're going to try to give them that as far as in the Bootheel Sports Network.
Hey,
So
Mark,
one of the really cool things I want to tell this quick story, and then we'll.
No, you're good.
And then I'm gonna let you have it, man. But look, so you talk about that exposure, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but there was a guy named Chad Graham, young kid. This has been maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, maybe longer if I'm not mistaken. This kid was in 4A in Arkansas. And you know how you just talked about it, how guys in certain areas just get overlooked, you know, especially if you're playing in different divisions, things like that, you know. So in Northwest Arkansas, there's 7 divisions, and the 7A is the top of the top, and these guys are getting all the looks. And so this is kind of how the Southern Sports Network got its start in high school, was because we did minor league football first. And then we had a coach from Elkins High who was on the minor league team, who played on the minor league team. And he said, hey, all the big schools, Fayetteville, Springdale, all those schools got broadcast as well. Would you guys mind coming to Elkins? And of course, we were happy to get the opportunity to do more work for, you know, and master our craft. But one of the really cool things was this was Chad's senior year, our first year working with Elkins High School. And Chad was second in the state. So not just 4A, 5A, 6A, etc. Second in the state in receptions and touchdowns, and had no offers. But thankfully, Chris Dotson and worked with the coaches and had some connections over in Oklahoma, and was able to get him an opportunity to go play college ball and get that experience. And it's kind of the same way. We put that love in, you know, and I was the play-by-play person, and I love to tell those stories, and I love to talk about some of those kids that were there, and some of them have gone on to play sports. Some of them have gone on to be just really great, outstanding citizens in our community, and we need more of that. And so, and this is why I when I saw what you were doing, I had to reach out to you and get you involved, man, because there's more of us around, and you know the work you're doing is a good one. So we're happy to be a part of it. But man, it more than any dollar I made, which I didn't make a bunch.
Wait. That's more in the swear jar, because literally, there's more in the swear jar than what you're making right now. So I ain't gonna lie to you. Some lucky person that's watching this video is going to get this free money.
Oh man, we're
gonna put it out to a ticket. Where yo man, the more it gets put in this swear jar, we're gonna buy tickets to a Razorback game. You're gonna go to a Razorback game, and that's what we're gonna do.
Man, we're gonna make some things work for sure. But yeah, that exposure, that opportunity, that sticks it's burned in my brain, Mark. And so getting to put this kind of work together is awesome. And you know, with what you guys do, with what Southern Sports Network is doing, and there's many more that I'm starting to find thanks to Mark Zuckerberg and his algorithm. Man, we're getting to see some really cool things. That's how I ran across you and the work you're doing, and we look forward to hopefully being able to partner together and overcome kind of, you know, so like I don't have a problem with the telecommunication company doing what they're doing, but my issue is where it says, oh well, so like I volunteered to work with the TV media team at East Ascension High School where my kids go to school. And they said, well, look, you know, I appreciate it, and we're gonna keep you included. But we won't be starting till basketball season because the company that owns it has, you know, they've got the broadcasting rights, and there are some ways that we could get around it. I'm thankful that Arkansas doesn't have that same, or that I remember, you know, or that I've heard in the last 4 years, that they don't have that same, you know, landlock where there's no opportunity for anybody else to put in work. And, you know, look, again, I'm sure this company does an awesome job. From what I've seen, they do okay, but you love Hayti. You love the Boot Hill area. And so you get the opportunity to put that love on camera every Wednesday and every Friday night. And that's what this thing is all about, man. And let's not get lost on everything else. That's what this is all about, is that exposure and that love, man. That's awesome.
I got 2 questions.
All right.
And you brought it up, man. And thank you, because you made me think about this. One, I gotta ask you, Mark. Do you follow Arkansas high school football, or do you know about like what's going on out here?
Very few, man. I mean, we're actually.
I'm pretty sure
16
you know,
miles from Arkansas.
I'm pretty sure you know a guy named, and he's he's top quarterback in the 2025 high school class. His name is Kane Archer.
Oh yeah, shout out Kane, man. Shout out the Archers. What's up to the Archers?
Wanted to ask you, you got a chance to watch his game film?
I have not, but now I will.
You need to. This kid is he's legit. His brother plays. He went from defensive end to linebacker.
Yeah. And
he is sacking quarterbacks left and right on the defensive side. His name is Cash Archer. Kane and Cash Archer, these kids, they play in Greenwood.
Greenwood, Arkansas.
They are amazing. They are amazing. They are great. That's a great talent. And I say this because, man, you're calling out guys in Missouri. I wanted to ask you, do you actually follow other high school sports, like other high school teams in outside of Missouri?
We do not, unless it's a tournament. You know, we do some tournaments that have outside. Like I said, we're only 16 miles or 18 miles from Arkansas, so sometimes we'll have a tournament with Gosnell, which is right outside of Blytheville, old Air Force Base town that closed down.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Rector and Piggott over by Kennett. And then that's about it, really, So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope you get a chance. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really hope you get a chance to look at these highlights from this, from that quarterback Kane Archer and middle linebacker Cash. They're brothers. I think they are going to be they're generational talent. It's insane. Kane can run the ball. Besides just throwing the ball, he can run outside the pocket. He reads defenses really, really well. And that is something that I feel like young kids, they just get in and they just use their talents. This kid reads a defense like he's a professional athlete. And it's amazing. And I hope you get a chance to watch him. He's in a really, man, honestly, amazing kid. We're hoping that Arkansas can get him. We want him. We want both of them. We want both Archers on our team.
We don't want Missouri to get him.
Yeah, we don't want Mizzou to get him. That's pretty much what it is. And
we like stealing talent. We just stole what wide receiver last year. One of your top
Bobby's
wide
not
receivers.
there, man. Bobby's not there, so he can't steal a lot. Steal much. He's not there. He can only steal your bike or ride your bike. That's it. But my second
Steal your
question,
girlfriend.
man, that's true. My second question for you, you talk about, your experience in high school and, and calling these amazing events. What is it like? Talk about your support system. Like, how is your wife supporting you in this venture? Like, how has this grown into what it is called Bootheel Sports Network? How have you gotten that?
Man, I couldn't have done it without her, to be honest with you. She's by my side, man. It's kind of like the old credit card. You don't leave home without her. You know what I'm saying? She runs the camera. She runs the camera for me. She does our social media, our TikTok, our each TikTok page that I've got. She takes care of, man, and puts all the highlight reels together and stuff like that, man. And of course, my nephew, he's on the team. So family has been a great support, man, and great friends. I got the guy who's calling Portersville game is a lifelong friend, man. We grew up right behind each other, and so without those guys, it couldn't be possible, man. I mean, it's a lot of work that goes into this, and a lot of everything that I've learned, I've been self-taught, man. The OBS, putting the programs together, the commercials, the editing, and all that, man. And
It's
so
a job, bro.
I definitely passed it on. It's hard work, man. And the people, some don't realize what all you put into it, man. And but at the end of the day, man, if I can get one kid some exposure, it's all worth it, man. It's all worth it.
Again.
Well, I got a friendly bet for you, sir. I got a friendly bet. If Arkansas beats Mizzou this year, you give me that hat off your head.
I'll tell you what, I'll buy you a new one.
No, I'll take what you got because I want it signed.
Okay.
I want it signed. I want it signed. I want you to sign.
That's it. That F is pretty big, man. I mean, if. How many years you?
Hey, look.
How many years have y'all been saying that in Arkansas? If we beat Missouri,
you only had 1 year that was good. This last the last 4 years. I don't want to hear nothing. You had one good year.
Since we don't talk about Arkansas, Missouri, look
man, don't make me get my neck brace. Don't make me go get my neck brace out the closet.
So listen, now you'll find this pretty funny. So Arkansas, when Drew Lock was our quarterback, we're at Mizzou and Arkansas in Columbia, and Arkansas was up like 24-0 at halftime, I believe it was, and all we heard that first half was ooh-wee, peak soo-wee. Well, Drew Lock got heated up. Missouri comes back and beats Arkansas.
Oh, this was Bielema. That was Bielema.
God.
Oh, no.
And there's a fan sitting in front of me, and I said, man, I'm glad we didn't have to hear that pig suey the whole second half because Arkansas didn't score the whole second half. And he turns around, he just flips me off. I said, man, that's some poor sportsmanship there, buddy. I had to take all your pig sueys, and you can't even take one bad comment from me. But anyway, I just said, poor sportsmanship on you. We'll see you next year, baby.
Well, Mark, I'm dead serious, man. When we play you guys this year, if we win, put it this way, we win. You sign that hat that you have on your head right now. You sign it, you send it to me. If you lose, I will send you 2 jars of salsa of whatever you want.
$30.
There you go. Sounds like a deal to me.
Hey, if you like salsa, if you like your wife likes salsa, your family likes salsa, I promise you, you will never go anywhere else to get your salsa. You will be calling me. But dead serious, I will do that exchange for you. You give me your hat. If you lose, you give me your hat signed by you.
Oh yeah.
If I lose, I send you 2 jars of salsa of whatever you want.
Okay, it's a deal. Bet.
I'll personally bring it to you. Now, here's the thing. I'll personally drive it to you.
Oh, that's good.
There you go.
Hey, wait. Let me ask you a question. Does Arkansas play in Mizzou this year, or are y'all coming down to Fayetteville?
No, it's in Mizzou. It's in Columbia.
I'm gonna come. Me and
November the 30th. They've actually moved it to a Saturday this year instead of the day after Thanksgiving.
Come see you. I'm gonna pick Blocker up. Blocker's gonna drive himself up. We're gonna come see you November 30th. We want to see what you're tailgating and explain to the folks what a Mizzou tailgate is like.
Hey, if they want to see that, just need to go to my Facebook page at Mark Manley, and you could see a tailgate machine that we built this year. It's an old ambulance. It's wrapped in Mizzou Tigers. It's got M-I-Z on one side, Z-O-U on the other. Big old tiger and a big old on the front hood. It's going to eat that ass up for the Razorbacks. We like to barbecue, so ain't nothing like a good old Razorback barbecue.
Hey man, look. So I'm gonna tell you.
Just make it even 5.
I'm just being honest with you. That is just really disgusting. Like to even think about building something like that. That's just really, really disgusting. I'm sorry, but
I'll tell you what. I'm being down here. I am tigered out. I will tell you that.
Hey man, you a Razorback. Don't you ever forget that, man. You a Razorback for life.
He's down there in Louisiana, so he's got to be LSU Tiger now.
Oh man,
he does got purple. He got purple on right now.
I think he's a secret LSU fan.
That's better.
I think he really is a secret LSU fan. It scares me because when I talk to him, he always brings up, and down here in New Orleans, down here in Louisiana, it's like Hey, man, are you an Arkansas Razorback?
Woo!
Hey, don't you be lying.
So, all right. So now I do have a couple questions that are not high school related. So first of all, this week, Mizzou does have Vanderbilt. So what? Tell me your thoughts quickly.
Let's go Vanderbilt.
Oh God, anchor down. Yep.
Let's go.
Tell me your thoughts.
I'm super excited for this. Sorry.
Your thoughts on Mizzou versus Vandy.
I tell you what, Vandy's got a great quarterback there, man, and of course that's probably Clark Lee's best team.
Okay.
You know, they lost a big running back last year, graduated, but we have yet to see Mizzou put together a full game. Cook is really struggling.
You're number 6 in the country, by the way. You're number 6 in the country, sir.
And as Eli says, once we he would hate to be our opponent if we ever clicked on all cylinders. So we have yet to do that. And sooner or later we got to put together because it's getting week 4 coming up. So you know it's time we have a complete game, and hopefully this weekend we will. I know Luther Burden had a good game last week, over 100 yards receiving, and man, we're just loaded. Tons of offensive weapons, man. Defense, of course, 2 shutouts, and then first half they give up 14 points, and then we go on a 24-0 run last weekend against Boston College. So very impressive.
Exactly, highly impressive because I was not expecting that. I was not. I thought you guys were. I thought Mizzou last week. I thought when I watched that game and watching it early, it was early mornings, SEC Network. I'm watching this. And I'm like, wow, this does not look like a number 6 team. This does not. That first half, you guys did not look like a number 6 team. You guys look like the worst team in football, like in college football. And I don't mean to like sit here and sugarcoat that. I don't say anything bad about your team. But that second half, you seen the adjustments they made. They made a lot of adjustments. They figured it out, and they scored 24 unanswered points to win this game. That is highly impressive.
I think that's Drinkwitz's. I think that's his biggest positive is that he can adjust and on the fly and kind of work his way into that winner's lane and get going, man. And like he said, when they start clicking, they're gonna be a scary team, and you get Burden going, and then off of that, you gotta have 2 sets of eyes on him, and then that leaves 1-on-1 on the other side, and it's dangerous from there. So. This Missouri team is a scary team, and I think that they'll live up to, especially this weekend, they'll definitely live up to that top 10 ranking. Do you follow any of the pro sports? I know you're a Titans fan. You do any baseball or?
Oh yeah, I'm a Cardinals fan. You can see right there.
I'm out. Yeah. I gotta go. I'm sorry. This is Angry Puerto Rican checking out. I gotta go off that, man. Did you just say Cardinals?
Yeah, Cub fan.
No, I'm an actual fan, sir.
Mets fan.
You're
what?
The
reason why I'm so upset, I still remember that play. Carlos Beltran at the plate. And he took an 0-2 pitch curveball to strike him out to end the game. I'm still upset. I can't lie to you and tell you I don't like you Cardinal fans. I don't like Cardinals at all. You make me sick.
That was 2006. That's how angry he is. That's probably what caused. That's probably why he went bald right there. Because that's 2006, and he's still mad.
Hair before then.
I had hair before this, by the way. It's all gone. All gone.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Blocker was asking you a question, but it made me really think about this question. I wanted to ask you, man, Mark. You talk about, being, sports network, you're doing your thing, man. Talk about your fondest memory as a commentator. What was that like? Talk about your fondest memory as a commentator calling a game.
I think the biggest moment was when I was still on the radio back in 18 at the state championship. We got to go play in Mizzou Stadium as where our state title game is, and I was up in the booth, man, that Mike Kelly calls games at. So what a moment, man. And we had this kid named Ivory Winters who was just dominant, son. He ended up getting a full ride to Indiana, which didn't pan out for him. But anyway, man, what a moment for your first year on the radio, and then you're at a big stadium like Mizzou, and I mean it was raining, and we still won the game with several turnovers and won 44-0. So
that's impressive. That's
yeah,
awesome.
they wasn't. And I got somewhere.
Hey, it better not be something Mizzou. Please don't pull up nothing Mizzou.
No, it's the totals from that 18 team, and they were just unreal, man. They gave up.
I was about to go use the bathroom.
I don't know, like only gave up 40 points all year or some stuff like that, and then scored 900 and some. It was just unreal.
These kids are balling. Yeah, no kidding.
You know, Blanco, we're talking to him about sports, and he follows football and all of that. So, man, I gotta ask him, man. I wanna change directions real quick on something.
Okay,
man, what's your thought on the Tua Tagovailoa situation and his concussion? How do you feel about that? And I'm not saying, I'm talking about as a player, as a person. How do you feel? Like, do you think he should play, or do you think he should retire? Like what's your thoughts on that? Because that's 4 and 5 years.
So do you guys have a bug in my house? Because this is like the third question that I've already had a discussion on this week. But as soon as that happened, I told my wife, I said, man, he just needs to go and retire. I said he can go to the booth like the rest of them do, because that is nothing to mess around with. Like you said, man, he's had way too many.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, man.
I mean, I'm sure he's already got guaranteed money anyway, so he's going to be all right in life.
What is it, $164 million guaranteed?
It's a lot of money guaranteed.
Yeah,
it doesn't even matter. And he signed it. And here's the thing: he signed it after his second or third concussion. He signed it with no injury clause in part of it, so it was smart on his side. But as a player, you're looking at this, man. Look. These guys go 100%. They go 110% on the field.
Yeah,
look,
no doubt.
And it was crazy, man, which is so ironic. The person that actually tackled him was a person that just died on the football field last year.
Literally.
And so what are your thoughts on that, Mark? Like, how did that make you feel seeing Damar Hamlin tackling Tua? He's injuring him, but he just came off of being dead on the field.
Right. Is that not crazy, man? What a moment that was. And, man, I mean, he's very fortunate to be alive, and the right person at the right time happened to be there and bring him back to life, man. And boy, he's got angels watching him. I'll tell you that right now. And good for Damar Hamlin, man. I'm glad to see him back on that field and doing what he loves. Man. I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I don't know if I'd ever suit back up after that, but it is what it is. And I definitely wouldn't suit back up if I'm Tua, man. Live your life, man.
Yeah, as much as you can. And you know, the scary thing about it with both of those gentlemen is that you get it, you don't think about it, right? You know, and this is something I'm sure you've seen it a time or two in your years of broadcasting. When you come to the end of your career, and I'll tell you my story, right? So, like we talked about off the air, man. So I played high school ball in Little Rock. I played college ball in Southwest Arkansas, and then I moved to Northwest Arkansas to try to finish ball. And thankfully, I got the opportunity to play minor league ball, and that kind of gave me this pattern of get this avenue to get to do the things I want to do. But when it was over, when it was time, and so I'm 39. I turned 40 in March, and
young buck.
Yeah. So just
I'm 40. Hey, Mark, I'm 40.
so I ain't even gonna tell you how old I am.
Are you 16?
He's 25.
Hey, you just turned 21. That's right. You just turned 21, Mark. There you go.
Look at that.
Hey, I'll tell you, as a guy used to say that when we got Carter when we was 21, he said, I'm 21 and then some. And I'm a lot.
When somebody asked me about 6 months ago, like, hey, you want to play minor league ball again? And man, I'm gonna tell you, my knees and ankles started hurting as soon as he said it. But one of the things I argue with, was the inner turmoil was when it's over, how do we transition? And so I was thankful that I got the chance to be in this area, and I always admired and I always followed it, and I actually did attempt to do sports journalism in college, and actually they said I wasn't a good enough writer, but it gave me the opportunity to stay around the game. But it's scary when you go too long, and because this is a gladiator game, right? And especially football. All sports, they have their physical limits, but football is a gladiator game. And I'll tell you when I knew it was time for me to let it go. So I got in a wreck. This was 6-7 years ago, and I got T-boned by a Tahoe going about 45 miles an hour on a wet day. It was raining, and he couldn't stop. And as I was turning, and he hit me, I spun. I hit another car, and I closed my eyes and just prayed that for what happens next. And then when I came to a stop, I felt it. And I opened my eyes. And I was like, okay, great, I'm alive. That's a good start. I wiggled my fingers. All right, well, nothing's broken quite yet, or that I know of. This is good. And so I get out of the car and I start checking with other people. So all this adrenaline's rushing. And so the next day, I have a familiar feeling, and I hadn't felt it in quite some time, but it felt like I had played a football game. And so what I'm telling you is that for years, so, I've been playing ball since I was 10, and I played until I was 30-ish, somewhere in there.
God, you're old.
So 20 years of subjecting myself to a car wreck every Saturday afternoon and every Friday night, man. It's scary when it's time to let it go because you don't know what happens. But when you get these Tuas and these DeMar Hamlins and just a lot of other guys, it's scary, but you got to make that decision. I'll give you two people I think of, man. There was the first.
I feel like real quick. I feel like I've watched football all my life, but watching those injuries, I feel like it's changed my outlook on what football is. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's changed my outlook on the sport of football.
When I played the game, to your point, and when I played the game, it was like, oh yeah, the big hits and all the loud pops and all of that stuff. Now that I'm older and these knees, I'm 39, my father is 89. He and I get up off the couch the same way, right? So, and from because apparently pushing around 300-pound men, it has its negative effects on your body. I enjoyed it. I took pride in it. But now these days it's like, man, you got to know when to say when. And so, but there was a guy, Raleigh Williams the third. Remember him, Ant?
Yep.
You actually might remember Mark because he ran all over Mizzou for a couple years. And then same thing. He had concussions. And this guy was headed to the pros. It was a lot. And he was going to have a great career in the pros because he was a big, strong back with some breakaway speed. But he had that concussion or something with his neck or something like that. And he came to that crossroads where it said, do you want to play football or do you want to live a high quality life?
I'm glad he made the decision he made. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad he made the decision he made. And I think that's a lot. And I feel like, Tua, with the Tua situation, and I love Mike McDaniels. I actually like him as a coach. I think he's amazing. He has turned from a guy that was the camera guy to a straight hippie as a coach for the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. But his answers are genuine. You're getting a genuine guy. Mark, let me ask you, what does that say about Tua's coach? With him responding the way he responded and the way he is, and the way he is with his players. He's young. He has guys that are older than him that he's coaching. That's right. What does that say about Mike McDaniels as a coach for the Miami Dolphins?
Well, I think he's putting the person first, you know what I'm saying? Instead of like you're a player, but yet I'm going to tell you how what to do as a person, not as just far as a business standpoint, man. And you care about your players, and they become family. So,
yeah, no, absolutely, man. Well, Mark, listen, man, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. We've already hit an hour. I gotta say thank you again publicly, man. I really appreciate the work you do. I appreciate you giving us time and
thank you.
from a distance and now up close, man, I'm definitely following what you're doing, and if nothing else, it's going to be a blueprint for what we try to do here on the Fanatic Sports Podcast. But also just happy to have you as a partner with us as well.
I'd love to keep picking his brain off camera about like what he does and how he started. Like, I really do. Like, I feel like we're going in that direction, and I feel like he's a blueprint. Like you just said, he's a blueprint. You are a staple in sports, and I appreciate what you're doing, Mark. Thank you. Continue to do what you do. I need you to tell everybody right now that's watching how they can follow you, where they can follow your information, where they can get all this sports knowledge from.
Yeah, so at Bootheel Sports Network right there on your screen, at Facebook, at YouTube, and then we do have Bootheel Sports Network on Twitter, X, I guess is what you call it now. And we are also on TikTok, Bootheel Sports Network, and so
you're on
there is everything.
Hey, look,
I'm on the TikToky.
Look. You just got a new follower. I'm about to do it right now, sir.
Right
now. See, this is how this works. This is how this works. Bootheel Sports Network. And then here we go.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, well, listen, man, Mark, I can't say thank you enough again for your time. And listen, this won't be our last conversation, man, because we're following what you're doing as far as, with the Bootheel Sports Network, and we definitely look forward to seeing you. So before you go, let's tell everybody about Wednesday nights at the Home Play Bar and Grill.
Yeah, that's right. Every Wednesday night, Coach's show of Carrozville. We call it Tiger Talk because they are the Carrozville Tigers. We have Coach G on, and we'll talk about what the Tigers did the previous week and what they got cooking up Friday night, and also the player of the game for the Carrozville and Hayti. Hayti show follows the Carrozville show, but tonight we're going to swap it up. Hayti will go first at 7 o'clock. We'll have Coach Robinson on at 7, followed by Isaiah Show Me Some Love as our player of the game.
Well, man, that's awesome.
Hey,
man.
Mark, you at that bar and grill, I got to ask you, man, what are you ordering?
Man, actually, I usually get something to go, man, whatever the special is. Like tonight, they do weekly specials, and the wings and pizza tonight it is, and last week or week before is a burger, I believe it is. So yeah, so whatever they're having, man, and of course they hook me up, so free of charge.
Shout out to them. Hey, I can't wait to actually meet you. I want to meet you in person, Mark. I think you're an amazing person. You're somebody I can actually, and I'm pretty sure Block can say this, man, you're a little bit older than us, but at the end of the day, man, I think we look up to you and what you're doing, and we appreciate it. And you are giving us the blueprint on how to do this, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out of your day to get on here and talk to the public, talk to the world about what you're doing, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys, and anytime I can help, man. Anytime you got a question, just holler at me, man.
No, we need to change your name to owner instead of owner. It needs to be owner angry Mark Manley, because you've been more angrier than I have today.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, Mark, thank you again, man.
Oh, man, appreciate you guys, man. And anytime you need me in business, holler.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, so while we're sending Mark off, Ant, why don't you take the time and talk a little bit about our favorite salsa, man?
Wow, we're really gonna do this? Wow, we got the best salsa in the world. I'm not even gonna read this live script. I'm not even gonna do this. Look, I have the best salsa in the world. Do you want to enjoy yourself, whether you're watching a game, you're enjoying Sunday night football, you're enjoying Thursday night football, whatever you feel you need to do, please grab some salsa, angry salsa as it is, as you see in the screen. And I really want to shout out everybody that's purchased, gotten a jar of salsa, been able to do this, and be able for me to, give you something that I make with love. So thank you so much. And you can hit me up on any platform. My name is Anthony Roman. I thank you so much. You can also be a happy, angry customer. Shout out to Angry Salsa. And shout out to everybody behind it. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. If you are just joining us, then you missed a super dope conversation with a guy that pretty much is like a big brother to us, man. He's an awesome and hardworking guy from Hayti, Missouri, down in Southeast Missouri, at the Bootheel Sports Network. And so it's very dope to have the opportunity to have that conversation with him and have him with us. Right now, while we're gonna chop it up just a little bit more about sports before we get out of here. We got a little time to go. Want to say thank you to everybody that's checking us out. Hello to everybody over from the Bootheel Sports Network. I know you're in Southeast Missouri, but it's almost worth it. It is definitely worth the drive to go see my good friend Leticia Talamontes down in D'Iberville. So if you're thinking about upgrading your ride, you're in luck. We got the inside scoop for the best car salesperson in town, in the region, Leticia Talamontes at Astro Ford in D'Iberville, Mississippi. She's the go-to person, right, for all your car buying needs. Whether you're in the market for a sleek sedan or a reliable SUV, Leticia's got you covered. With a friendly smile or expert knowledge, she'll make sure you drive off that lot in style. So why wait? Head on down to Astro Ford and ask for Leticia. You'll be glad you did. Give her a call, 228-275-FORD. That's 228-275-3673. Or you can stop by 10350 Auto Mall Parkway in D'Iberville. See Leticia Talamontes at Astro Ford today. So we're very, very excited. This is episode 6. It's a big episode. It's the opportunity to get the chance to work with some of the people that are doing what we're doing and doing it well, mind you. Like, that's the coolest thing about this, is that, this isn't, some small time. This guy's got, all of Southeast Missouri in his pocket. And as you heard him talking about telling us about how, there was another telecommunication company that was trying to move in, but, one of the things that, and he didn't toot his own horn, so I'll toot it for him, man. When you get to a place where you're putting in good work, people will move for you. Now, I've worked in advertising for a very long time, and so I understand how this works, right? And,
Right.
that company was moving in because they wanted to, tap into those dollars that, that are in that market. And it's good to see what he's done is he's shown that there is income to be had in that market. And so it's very, very cool to see that, man. And like I said, he's like a big brother to us because he's showing us the blueprint and he's giving us the plan for us to be able to do the same thing that he's done. And hopefully we can match what he's done, man. That's very, very
Yeah.
cool.
One of the things that I took away was his passion, not
Yeah.
just what he does for the sport, but his passion for the
That's it.
sport.
That's it.
I think I literally took away a lot of that, his passion for it. And he's funny as hell. Like,
Man,
he's
very,
funny.
very, and that's the beauty of it. And one of the things I learned is about the play-by-play and broadcasting is that your personality's got to come through. You got to be vulnerable in front of this camera, man. And obviously he's got it in spades. So
I enjoyed talking to him. Like, I really did, man. And I wish we could I wish we could still have him on these for these segues, man.
We'll be doing much more, man. We'll be doing much more. And so that's why I'm so excited to make these connections with people. And it's been, week after week of really awesome guests and people that get involved with us. And so we're super excited about that. Speaking of, so just the big announcement going into next week, man, for episode 7, it will be the Fanatic Sports Podcast, but we'll be joining the Run Your Mouth Podcast, which is based in Arkansas as well. So an opportunity for
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Man. Two more guys in the same boat as us, man. We're working hard every week, man, and we love to talk sports. And sports is such a great.
I don't know about being as. I don't know. I'm a little nervous, man.
Don't worry.
They've been doing it a little bit longer than us, man.
Yeah.
They've been a lot longer, and I'm a little nervous, man. I don't want to.
Well,
I don't want to be so angry. I think I might be a happy. I'm gonna change my thing. I'm gonna change my name to the Happy Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Happy Puerto Rican. So let's talk for a little bit about real quickly, man. Let's talk about some college. Now we have talked a little bit of college, talking about Missouri and Vanderbilt, man. So our home state, Arkansas, travels down to the plains, down to Auburn this week, man. Tell me what you're thinking about that game.
Look, I'm a little nervous, just on the fact, man, if Taylor Green throws the ball the way he did that first quarter, that first half, we lose that game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Granted, we escaped with a victory over UAB, which should have never they had us at 40. I think it was like 26 and a half, 30. I think it was like 26 and a half was the spread, Arkansas spread. So whoever bet for UAB to cover, they won a lot of money, because I'm going to tell you that right now. I wasn't expecting that, but they ran through us. They exposed our defense. What Auburn brings is a running game. Again, another run game team that can run the ball. And I think I have a problem with our front four. Our front four needs to figure it out, because they are not on the same page. They're letting guys get through holes. The holes are so gaping, it's insane.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I honestly, I want us to win, of course, as a Razorback fan. I want us to win.
Yeah.
But do I see us winning? I'm a little nervous, man. I'm a little doubtful about it, man. I think Auburn wins this game by 3.
So I've got faith in Bobby and his offense, and I got faith in our defense to
A lot of
correct
faith.
themselves. Yeah, yeah.
Was he on a bike when you thought about that?
It's a bicycle, not a motorcycle.
Oh,
No, man. I think that
it's still two wheels.
I think what happens is that Bobby gets with Talon and doesn't allow him just to be, because if you leave Talon to his own devices, then yes, he's definitely going to make risky decisions. But if you give him the opportunity, you make this simple for him offensively and not let him do too much thinking and let him make a few plays or he can take off and run, then yeah, we got a chance.
It's too much pressure. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, Blocker. There's too much pressure on Talon. Let's just keep it real. There's way too much pressure on him. And you realize that on the first possession we had, there was way too much pressure.
Yeah.
You could see the way he was throwing the ball. He
Yeah.
didn't he was throwing the ball over receivers. Wide open. Guys, wide open.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's missing them on the run. Man, he's a better runner than he is an actual quarterback. And I hate to be that person and that guy to say that, but
Sure.
he's just a running quarterback to me, man. He hasn't proven to me. I don't care. In his first week, they scored 70 points. They had 10 drives. And they all scored. All right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Blocker, the problem, he can't throw the ball. I have an issue with that.
I think you can overcome that. Against a team like Auburn, I feel like there's still an opportunity to overcome that and be and use the ability to run, and then it sets up the pass. Darren Herkamp, shout out to my offensive line coach and offensive coordinator. One of the things that he talked about was that we were a running team at OBU, and we ran to set up the pass, right? And so you build the play action off that. You show the run, the ability to run the ball off of that. So there's a chance for him to still be, even if he is just straight runner, which I believe that he has the ability to pass the ball and be effective as a passer. You just got to put him in those situations, and I think that Bobby's going to do it. I still think it's going to be a close game. I think it'll be 27-24. I like our kicker, and I like what our defense is going to do. Travis Williams, I believe, will get them into the right place and allow them to play without having to think so much. And so that's
our defense played last week, man. Very confused.
Yeah.
They played very confused. And shout out to UAB, man. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm gonna put money into the swear jar. They shitted on us the first half. They literally shitted on us every chance they could get by doing what they were doing. They were running a lot of motion. There was a lot of movement on it. There was a lot of movement pre-snap. There was a lot of movement pre-snap. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, man. They're just watching the game. I'm not just watching the game. I'm analyzing. I'm watching it and seeing what I'm seeing. And to be able to see the motion, our defense has to step up. If we do not step up for Auburn, they're going to run wild, man. You remember what was that? What was that movie with Martin Lawrence and Tim Allen? What were they called? I think they were called the Wild Hogs.
The Wild Hogs, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what Auburn's going to be. They're going to be wild hogs if we do not stop the run. They're going to run all over us because Auburn. That's one thing Auburn has, and granted, they lost last week.
Yeah.
They basically run the ball, man.
Yeah.
And that they are establishing that they're letting you know they're going to be a run first team. We have already proven we cannot stop the run. We've proven that in 2 weeks. Actually, 2 weeks.
Well, but then look what we did to Ollie Gordon Jr. or Ollie Gordon III or whatever his name is. Right?
That's because they didn't give him the ball that much. Don't even go there. Don't do that. They didn't give him the ball that much. And he still scored.
Yeah, he did finally get it. He did finally get on the board.
But they weren't giving him the ball. They utilized Oklahoma State utilized their receivers. They realized our secondary is trash.
It's one of those things where you gotta
We still win 5 games this year. We still win 5 games this year.
I think we're good for 6 or 7. I'm not.
I wouldn't go that high. I won't go that high. I will not. I can't. I literally, as a Razorback fan, I will not put myself on that level and say they're winning 6. They're winning 5. If they win 6, they get to a bowl game. Great. But if they win 5, it's still bye-bye Sam Pittman.
I am. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I as a person, I like Sam Pittman, but when you hang your hat on the fact that you're a great recruiter and a great offensive line coach, and then you don't have the recruits you expect, and your offensive line isn't playing the way we would expect them to play, it's hard to want me to root for you to keep your job. I could be wrong, and things could change. I could be wrong, and things could change. But when it's all said and done, you gotta think.
Hey, we're 2-1. We're 2-1.
All right, so
we're 2-1. Hats off. My hats off. I appreciate it. My hats off to 2-1. But we will see what it's like come Saturday. This is the real test. This is the real test. We're now playing in an SEC conference, and we're playing a conference game. We get to see what we get to really see if this team is really make or break.
So speaking of make or break, right? Let's talk about another really great, because there's probably 4 or 5 great matchups that in college this weekend as teams are starting to move into their conference schedule. One of the ones I think that's going to be really good is number 11 USC versus number 18 Michigan. That's going to be a really fun game to watch. And
Michigan
it's at the big house.
Look, Michigan just came off a loss to a team that they paid how much? What, $1.4 billion? I take Michigan in this game. I think they're gonna come out hungry. And the reason why I say this because they got embarrassed. Texas
embarrassed them in their home. And so USC, I believe, is coming to the big house as well. So that's there. You got to have some pride, man. And Shamik Moore, the head coach there, you got to know he's trying to instill that pride of protecting your home slate, right? You can't walk into the big house and just skate through like Texas did. And they got to feel that.
You know, one thing I didn't ask Mark.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to ask him about preseason rankings. How does he feel about that?
Yeah, they're
damn, such a great question to ask, but man, just sitting here thinking, man, we're talking about number 11 and number 18.
Yeah.
And USC is number 11.
Yeah.
Michigan's number 18.
Yeah.
And I sit here and Blocka, chime in, just like give me a second, man, when I say this.
Okay.
Michigan just lost they lost to Texas. And a week before that, they lost to a team that they paid $1.4 billion to.
Yeah.
They came in and wrecked house. And they're ranked, aren't they?
Still ranked.
But who was the team that beat
them? Michigan or Notre Dame?
Yeah. Who beat Notre Dame?
Notre Dame got beat by Northern Illinois.
And and Northern Illinois is ranked. Am I
Northern
correct?
Illinois is now 23 and on ESPN, and Notre Dame is number 16 on ESPN.
So here's where I'm coming from. Why are these teams ranked?
So I'll tell you.
How is Notre Dame still ranked? Michigan, you beat the dog crap out of Texas. You're 18. USC comes into your house this Saturday. And here's my question to you.
All right.
Are you still excited about ranked teams?
Nobody's safe anymore. But that's the thing about preseason rankings, because nobody was safe from the get-go, right? Which actually is a great segue into the next team that I wanted to ask you about before we talk about another matchup. They're finally not ranked anymore, but it's Florida State. Only Florida State.
Ah! Can you hear me? Ah!
I am blown away by how poorly this team has played, man. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Let's just take any high school team out of Arkansas and play Florida State.
I think that Florida State might.
I think Conway's got a better chance of beating Florida State than anybody else. They look atrocious.
That's what I'm saying, is the fact that I can't tell you without a doubt that Florida State is going to win is our concern. That is my concern.
That is a major concern. I'm not going to lie to you. That is a major concern because, Florida State came in with high hopes in the season. They came in with high hopes.
They were a top 10 team in the country that was expected to win to compete for a national championship. And they haven't won a ball game yet.
They were expected to go for a natty. And guess what happened? They have, again, I'm putting money into the swear jar. They've shit the bed.
Literally. So
and I hate saying that, but they literally shit the bed. They cannot play. They cannot play again. They remind me of what the Razorbacks were playing with last year when we were you know how we always come out, we're always good, but we stoop down to our competition.
Absolutely.
Florida has done worse than that. They have become the epitome of stooping low down to competition, where they're getting beat, and that is bad.
Yeah, Florida State's tough, man. It's
horrible.
It's hard to watch what they become. I don't know how Mike Norvell keeps his job. To be frank with you, I'm not sure.
I think he loses his job, and it might be too early. But I think if they lose again this week, he's gone.
He might not make it out this week. Yeah, he might not make it to see.
No, they're gonna let him. They're gonna let him get his week. But I think he gets fired if they lose a game. If they lose this game on Saturday,
you go 0-4, man. This is it. That's it.
Look, if they lose on Saturday, I'm gonna tell you this right now. They lose on Saturday, he will be fired right after game is over.
Sunday morning he'll have
not even Saturday night. He will be fired. He will be fired Saturday night. He will get that immediate email and text message saying, "Hey, we thank you for your services, but you're fired."
So let's talk about. So one of the things I'm starting to really like is that they're taking advantage of Friday nights and getting the opportunity to show some teams that we may not would have looked at, right? Especially, I'm still in SEC country, and we're still, SEC kind of dominates on Saturday as far as the coverage. But this is going to be a matchup here in the Big Ten that actually I believe is going to be pretty good between number 22 and number 24. Nebraska.
I like Nebraska a lot.
Yeah.
Really do.
Matt Rule has done some special things out.
I didn't expect him to come down from the NFL and do what he's done in college football. Was not expecting that, Blocker.
Yeah,
I literally was not, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not expecting him to bring, but he brings a game pro style of football to Nebraska. And I love every bit of Nebraska. I think they're a sleeper. They win a couple more games, they will be in the top 15, not top 10. They are a sleeper too. I think that's my sleeper team to make the playoffs.
And so one of the cool things about it is he's got a true freshman, by the way. But this kid Dominique Raiola, who Mahomes calls his little cousin, but Raiola has patterned himself after Mahomes, and there's been a lot of back and forth. So let's get into this real quick before we move on. What do you think about him? He wears the number 15. He's got kind of that curly mullet going. They're the same skin complexion anyways. But I mean, he wears the glasses. He looks like Patrick Mahomes, and he on the field, he plays like Patrick Mahomes. So he does a lot of, off script plays and so a lot of things that actually they praise Caleb Williams for coming into the league. So talk a little bit about Raiola and how he's mimicking Patrick Mahomes.
I like it, man. I think it's good for college football.
Sure.
I'm gonna just be honest. I think it's good for college football. I think it's great for him as an actual player, as a person. I think what he's doing on field is he's mimicking a great, and he's doing a hell of a job doing it.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest here, and let's be real. He's doing a hell of a job. mimicking Patrick Mahomes and the same game style that he goes into. He's not fast. He's not slow, but can he get across the line of scrimmage? Yeah, that boy can play. Can he get away from a defender? Yeah, that boy can get away from a defender. Can that boy throw the ball? Yeah. Is this Tyrell? I honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be real with you. I think his spiral's tighter. His spiral is tighter than Patrick's.
So now
and I hate saying that, man. Like I really think he's gonna go and he's gonna play Illinois. I see him erupting for like 300 yards this year. This week, I see him going for 300. So and putting a smile on his face while he does it, because he's a banter talker. So he's gonna talk his mess. He's gonna talk his crap.
So
he's gonna do it.
Let me give you my Mr. Details angry hot take. I got Illinois winning this game. Oh yeah, on the road in Lincoln, because Illinois' defense is tough, bro. They bring the heat, and we're gonna see how good Raiola is and how much of a playmaker he can be against this tough Illinois defense. And then on top of that, they're gonna come in and run the rock on you. That's Lovie Smith, baby. Lovie Smith's defense is about to come in and do
stop.
All right,
stop right now. You stop that. You stop that. You don't say that. That you stop.
I've called
what?
I've called it. We'll come back next week.
Is that an angry take from you, Blocker?
Mr. Detail angry take by Blocker. That was mine.
Wow, man. Wow. Well, with that being said, man, we'll go ahead and just go to our sponsor, Mr. Detail, man. We definitely going to our sponsor, Mr. Detail. Hey, man, are you tired of seeing dirt and grime on your vehicle? Let Mr. Detail visit you. Mr. Detail is top-notch detail company that will leave you, your car, and you smiling, but your car sparkly like new. Whether it's a full exterior wash, interior vacuuming, or premium waxing, Mr. Detail has you covered. With their expert staff and top-of-the-line productions, you can trust that your vehicle will receive the best care possible. Don't settle for a dirty car any longer. Call Mr. Detail today at 479-283-1636. Again, that is 479-283-1636. Call Mr. Detail, and don't forget, don't worry about nothing.
Yeah, man. We're so thankful for all of our sponsors, man. You guys,
yes, thank you.
Make this thing work for us, man. We'll be right back. We're gonna talk some pro football before we go. But we'll be right back on the Fanatic
Go Washington! Woo! Let's go!
Welcome back to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. Super excited, man. We've had a fantastic episode, and if you just joining us, I can't argue. I can't front. You missed a good one. But hey, there's still the good news is that we will be doing another episode next week, and you can catch all of our episodes on the Fanatic Sports Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. It's all on demand. And the really dope part of it is that it's all brought to us by really awesome sponsors. I can't say thank you enough to our sponsors. So I don't know if you noticed, and the boy got a haircut. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on, let me put my ring light on me closer. Fresh cut. I finally got rid of my.
Wow.
I've been growing this beard for 3 months and doing a terrible job at it, man.
You're making me want to get my my stuff trimmed right now, man.
Well, then I'm gonna tell you what. If you get the chance, man, if you're ready to look and feel legendary, come see my people here in Baton Rouge at Legendary Cuts BR. Legendary Cuts Barbershop in Baton Rouge. Whether you're gearing up for game day or you simply just want to look your best, the talented barbers and stylists will give you the winning edge. Experience with precision cuts, hot towel shaves, and even welcoming atmosphere that keeps our legendary customers coming back for more. Call them today. My man Jermaine, Randall, shout out my man T who just started with us. Give a call today, 225-448-3048. Even my girl Mo is in the back. She's doing braids. She's doing all sorts of hair.
Hey, I need my hair braided.
She can even get you some hair.
Man.
She can get you some hair, bro.
Yo, I think I might, man. I might grow it back out.
Look, bro, you ain't even got to grow it out no more. They will glue you some hair on your head, man.
Hey,
these guys got
I'm
talent,
calling
baby.
Legendary Cuts right now. I need some hair, man.
So give them a call. Give them a call at 225-448-3048, or you can visit Legendary Cuts Barbershop at 10404 Coursey Boulevard in Baton Rouge today and step your game up to be legendary.
Hey, man, I gotta take this time out, man. I was on the phone with my nephew last night, man.
Yeah.
Dante Omar Wooten.
Oh,
I'm shouting you out and calling you out.
Shout out, my man.
He is a Giant fan. And I feel so bad.
No, literally.
I don't feel bad. We won.
He's a big man.
Seven field goals. Seven. We beat you 21-18. Take that to the bank.
So let's get into this. Let's start on this because this is crazy, right? So, as a Steelers fan, I watched us kick 6 field goals in week 1 to beat the Falcons. But and so the story has a little nuance to it. The Giants lost their kicker, or he missed
on the first play. He had a hamstring. He basically kicked the ball and he tore his hamstring.
Right. And so after that, now you can't kick your PATs, and you never think about how important those are until you can't kick them, right? And so this has never happened in the NFL before. Daniel Jones continues to set records in the worst way possible. So the first team to score 3 touchdowns, hold a team from scoring a touchdown, and still lose. Hello? Is this thing on?
Hey, hello? Did you just say? Wait.
They scored 3 touchdowns.
Can you repeat that one more time? They scored what?
They didn't give up a touchdown and still lost the game 21-18.
Let's go, Washington!
All right, so then let me give you my reaction to week 2 for the Steelers versus the Broncos. Now, if we come out and talk about this thing the right way, let's be honest. And one of the things, just as much as you don't like preseason polls in college, I hate when people talk about what happened on the field last season, right? Because last season has, if you're talking about stats and win-loss and what happened on the field last season, how is that different? How much different is that than this season, right? I'll give you a
It's
perfect
the same
example.
thing.
So the Rams last season, their defense was vaunted. They could really shut some people down. They could rush the passer. They could force a lot of turnovers. Why is that, Ant? Why could their defense do all those things? Is it because they had the best defensive tackle that we've seen in 2 decades?
Yes. And I think, look. Losing, oh man, I really feel bad for that team. They lost. They Puka Nakua, he's
Yeah.
out for 4 weeks. Cooper Cup's now on the IR. So
Did he go
that's
on
your
the IR?
top. Yeah, he's on the IR. He's literally on the IR. He basically, this is his second year that he's on the IR for 4 to 5 weeks.
Right.
I think that's a major issue with Stafford and that offensive team. Their defense is going to hold them into games, man.
Sure.
Look, I'm not going to lie. Their defense is going to hold them into games. They got 3 outstanding defensive linemen on that line. They can ball out. They can flat out play.
Yeah, them kids can ball.
But if you can't score, it's going to be a problem, and it's going to make your team look like crap. And guess what? They don't have a Cooper Cup. In his first week, what happened? He had over 100 yards receiving, 10 targets, 10 receptions. He looked like Cooper Cup of old.
Yeah.
Now you don't have Cooper Cup and you don't have Puka Nakua on the other side of that. Guess what? You're running with second and third string wide receivers who barely even thought they were going to make the team in
Make the
general.
roster. Yeah, absolutely.
So we get to see what Matthew Stafford can actually really do with rookie or basically with receivers.
First full-time year, right? First full-time year. So it's one of those things where there's so much involved in what they're doing, and they got cooked by Arizona, and then it's not going to get any easier for them. I believe this week they get don't they have the Niners this week? Yeah, they got the Niners this week on Friday on the late show.
Yeah, but the Niners just lost in Minnesota.
Well, so look, man,
and that defense on Minnesota's side, I'm sorry, but that defense on Minnesota's side is incredible. I think they have the top 5 defense in the league besides Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's top 3. I think Minnesota's top 5 right now.
So let me bring this back full circle, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about, right? So I wanted to start with this in as I from broad scope, and then I'll bring it into the Pittsburgh. So you look at any given Sunday, first of all, everybody's got the opportunity to
great
win the
movie, by the way.
Yeah, outstanding movie, right? But the reason I bring that up is we can't talk about what happened last year when we don't even know what's going to happen from week to week. I can barely count on what happened last week as a barometer for what's going to be the course of the season. I'll give you another example, and I said this off the. Did we start with this? No, I said this off air. I got to give you your props, man. You called that Falcons-Eagles game, and I was like, man, what are you talking about? Falcons-Eagles going to be trash. They're going to get beat up. And so, kudos to you, man. Shout out to you. You're absolutely right. That was a great game. And the reason I based that off of the Eagles-Falcons is because the Steelers had literally nullified what the Falcons were able to do. And then you watch Kirk Cousins drive down the field and just really, really tear it up and do what he has to do to make that win. That's a great call by you.
Yo, just to touch base on that, man, I told you what I watched in that first week with the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. No, the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I watched that game. I watched Jordan Love cook that secondary like no other. He cooked that secondary. And then I'm looking at it in week 2. I literally said, hey, man, the Falcons are going to win that game. And I told you why. Their secondary is atrocious. They're bad. They're going to give up a lot. They don't have a Fletcher Cox anymore in that defensive line. They don't have a legit pass rusher.
Yeah, them young boys ain't there, and they got rid of Hassan Reddick.
And there's only so much you can do with Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. You don't have an A.J. Brown.
Yeah, AJ's hurt. Yeah.
He had a hamstring issue, which he's probably going to be out this week coming up too. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
They might start 1 and 2 this year.
Yeah,
Then it goes
listen.
down to the division of who's going to take the division. Hey, guess what? We're 1-1.
And look, the Eagles
We are
got
tied. We are tied for it's the Giants. Look, the Giants are last place. We got Philadelphia, we got the Cowboys, and we got the Washington Commanders. And they're both all of them are 1-1.
So here's the best part. So the Eagles, who have been historically bad against the Saints, are playing in New Orleans this weekend coming up. They got a Saints team, and we got to talk about the Saints team. While I'm giving you kudos, I said it. I said the Saints will score 30 points this past
I
weekend.
didn't believe it.
Holy smokes, bro.
I didn't believe it.
Bro. If you told me, you said this stat, right? Earlier you told me they've scored on every possession that they've gotten this year?
Yeah, every possession. Every possession has been a touchdown.
Look, I'm no Saints fan. Shout out to I got a bunch of friends.
Or a field goal. They have scored on every possession.
I got a bunch of friends that are Saints fans that I gotta send this podcast to. And let me say, hey, congrats to y'all, man. Good job. Y'all got that OC, and that dude has turned y'all into dangerous. Derek Carr.
They are the best team in the National Football League. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna call it out right now. Derek Carr looks like a top 5 quarterback. Yeah. Alvin Kamara looks like a top 3 running back.
Hey,
and they're not even throwing the ball to Olave like that.
How do I argue with that?
You can't. There's just no argument at all. There's just no argument there. You cannot argue the fact that I'm literally saying, I'm literally telling you 2 weeks into the season, I'm telling you right now who the best football team is, and that's the New Orleans Saints.
Well, if they keep playing like that, then yeah, they're gonna definitely, because this is a different kind of dangerous team. Like, and look, man, I said it, bro. I had no faith in Derek Carr. I thought they overpaid him.
Yeah, you said that the first week. You said you had no faith in Derek Carr. Now look at him.
He is balling.
He looked like a young he looked like a young Drew Brees.
Yeah, it's scary.
I'm sorry. I don't want to compare him to a great, because Drew Brees is great. Drew Brees is what you want as a short quarterback. But Derek Carr is slinging that ball. He's making the right decisions.
He's balling, man.
Dude, he's balling out.
He's balling, man.
For people to sit here and block, I want to ask you this real quick, man.
Yeah.
How many people shit it? Again, there's money to the money to the spread. How many people shitted on New Orleans?
Man, them guys, but
they didn't believe, because of last year. They didn't believe that he was going to do this, and now look at him. He's got a new offensive coordinator. That offense doesn't even look the same. That offense does not look the same at all.
So shout out my homie Trail, who is definitely one of our sponsors, man. But he's been a Saints fan a long time. He's from this way, and so he told us, man. He told me for the last 2 years, like, if they got rid of that offensive coordinator, then they would be so much better. Well, what happens? They go out and get this kid, this guy from San Francisco, and that offense in San Francisco, what Shanahan's done, what his tree is doing. You look at in Miami is another great example, and now what's happening in New Orleans. What his tree is doing with that system and that type of offense is so explosive, and it's hard to argue with the results. They're doing something right. I know Shanahan hadn't won a Super Bowl yet.
When you score on every possession that have taken on the field of a football game, that says a lot about your system. That says a lot about your team, and it says a lot about, as you said, it says a lot about your coordinator.
Yeah,
and that's just amazing to see. And I hope they keep it up. Like, I really do, because I put money on New Orleans to win this one.
So look, let me round this thing back off, man, because we're nearing that 2-hour mark, and we definitely got to make sure we hit up every one of our awesome sponsors. So I'll say this about Pittsburgh, and we'll call it, man. What they did last week, and what I'm realizing, as you said, that defense is number 3, and I got to put $1 in the homer jar, because that defense is at least top 3 in the league.
No, and you're totally right. Yo, dude, I don't think of they remind me of a second coming of the Ravens defense back in the day when they had Trent Dilfer and they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
TJ Watt is a madman.
And here's the crazy part. TJ Watt hasn't even got in the mid form yet. And what they're doing with the adding Patrick Queen was awesome.
I feel so bad for the Ravens for getting rid of that middle linebacker. Man, dude, you can't get rid of a middle linebacker like him and then put him on the Steelers and then be like, oh, we're still going to win ball games. You're not winning nothing.
I don't feel bad for him at all.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. You're Steelers fan, so of course that's going to happen.
But look, man, when you add that guy, but here's the key addition. Here's the best addition. So we bring in Deshaun Elliott at safety. Now, this isn't a big, sexy name.
Along with Minkah Fitzpatrick.
That's where I'm headed. So what he does is he helps in the run game. He plays in what our scheme does. He plays into that in the box safety, and that allows Minkah to go back to his natural home in the middle of the field. And when you get him going in the middle of the field, it takes away a lot of things. And you got Queen in the middle on that second level, and then you got heat coming from Highsmith and Cam. And listen, I'll go on all day about it.
Look. I'm still confused who your starting quarterback is, but your defense is winning the game for you.
So
look, dude, does this not remind you of what the Ravens were in 2000?
Man, look,
I want you to really think about what you have right now. I want you to think about this as I say this. Think about what think about what the Ravens did in 2000 when they had Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, and what they were doing in that defense, and they had Trent Dilfer, and he was just a game manager. What are they doing right now in Steeler Nation? What they're doing, they're playing defense. They're all over that ball. They are not taking anything for granted. TJ Watt is the anchor of that defense, and it's insane to see and watch him. Bro, he was trolling Atlanta Falcons team, the whole team, the stadium. Like, come on. If you know you're the defensive player of the year. And I think he's going to win another one. I think he's going to be better. I think he's better than his brother. I'm going to tell you right now. I think TJ Watt is better than JJ.
He's been more productive. But you know what? So here's one of the things that we talked about. And so here's the challenge, because they have the Chargers coming into Pittsburgh. So I'm super excited that they're in Pittsburgh and not LA. But the Chargers. So let's talk about this for just a second before we go. J.K. Dobbins. You familiar with that name?
I am.
So his time.
He played for the Ravens, didn't he?
He did. And his time with Baltimore was plagued with injury. I don't know that man played 10 games, 15 games during his time with the Ravens. So he gets to LA, and I don't know if it's something about the beach or the sun or, I don't know what it is. But they brought him and Gus Edwards in. Hey, something's got to be the cause. But they got him and Gus Edwards because they wanted some stability in the Greg Roman's offense.
Did you just say Gus Edwards?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, they got both Ravens running backs?
They wanted somebody that was familiar with Greg Roman's offense to come in and just be stability. Right?
Guess who is finessing the league right now? Guess who's finessing the league? The Chargers.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, you have two talented running backs. Edwards is a guy that can go out in the flats and get the ball. He's a player. He can play.
Yeah,
and you got Dobbins. He can go north to south. Literally, he runs north to south. Plays a phenomenal. His game. I love his game. When he's healthy, I love J.K. Dobbins. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I love J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. coming out of college, going to Baltimore, I thought that was a steal.
It should have been.
And I feel like the fact that he hasn't been able to, showcase his skills on an actual elaborate basis has been what's hurt him. But now he's showing what he can do healthy and why he is the number one running back out of Los Angeles right now.
So let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about predictions for week 3. What do you got that you're planning that you're looking forward to week 3?
I really, really think Minnesota loses their game. They don't have Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold's looked like a great quarterback.
No, of course.
But no one expected him to throw the ball like that. No one expected Justin Jefferson to have a 97-yard tutty at all.
But so that they're at home again, but they welcome in the red hot Houston Texans.
I think the Texans are going to the Super Bowl.
Wow. That's a big Mr. Detail angry hot take of the
I'm being
week.
very, very honest with you. There's nothing I have not seen. I haven't seen one bad thing from CJ Stroud at all. I think that guy is the quarterback of the future.
Oh,
I think I think he'll be better in about 5 years. We'll be saying he's better than Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
I'm being honest with you. I look at the Texans game with getting Mixon and Stephon Diggs. Now they have the best wide receiving core in the NFL.
And here's the deal: they haven't really fired on all cylinders yet to get Diggs
that's
going.
the crazy part.
So, all right. So let me give you my team I'm watching for the week, and then we'll talk about our two teams as well. But looking forward, one of the games I'm interested in, and I don't know who to root for in this game, but Baltimore travels to Dallas this weekend.
I don't care.
So let me ask you this. I know from a standpoint,
I don't like either team, but
exactly.
All right.
But so let me ask you this: who's more hungry right now?
Not the Cowboys. They just got blown out.
Now they're 1-1, but boy, that last loss made it feel like they're 0-2. And then
it made me enjoy. It made me enjoy watching football on Sunday. Let's just say that, and I'm not a Saints fan, okay? But to watch the Cowboys get beat that bad, all of you Cowboy fans, I just want you to understand, all you Cowboy fans, I want to say, I told you so, as Stephen A. Smith would say. I told you so. They are horrible. They are trash. And Blue, if you watching, I said this before the season. I said this before the season started. Your Cowboys are garbage. And your defense, look, just put it this way. Defensively, where the hell was Michael Parsons?
Oh, my God.
Where was Michael Parsons?
You can double team him.
By the way, an injury-plagued Trayvon Diggs, where was he?
You can double team them. You can focus in because they got 3 good players defensively, and you can exile them out very easily. So
you got Lawrence on the other side. How is this possible?
Man, I don't know.
How is this blocker? How is this possible? Like, to really look back and look at that game, and you're like, wow. And again, I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to continually say this. The Saints are the best NFL team in football. The Chiefs don't even look like a two-time champion. They do not, because they almost got beat by the Bengals. And if it wasn't for a bull crap non-pass interference call, we would be sitting here saying the Chiefs are 1-1.
Yeah.
My team, I'm gonna keep it real. Now, my team, they're Washington.
Yeah.
They played like a 1-1 team. Again, I told you they're going 7-10 or 8-9. They're not making the playoffs. I'm gonna keep this real as a Washington fan. But to literally say the Cowboys are going to a Super Bowl. Oh, they won one game. All of a sudden, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to the Super Bowl. How? After one game?
Listen,
let me see this team. Let me see this team in two more weeks, man. Let me see this team in 2 more weeks. You know who was very impressive after their second week? You know who was really impressive? The Jets.
They bounced back well.
They looked really good. They have a quarterback. Okay. They got a guy that can throw the ball. Yeah. But there's one thing I take away from that game. He can't scramble anymore.
Woo! Oh, not 40-year-old.
He cannot scramble the way he normally does. He can't scramble. But you know what he's good at? He's the number 1 guy on a team. And for me to watch the Jets play and be able to watch a guy get you off sides and get free plays is insane. At 40 years old, he is doing this still.
Yeah.
That's insane, man. That's insane.
So check it out, man. We just hit the 2-hour mark and we've had a rocking good time, man. Before we go, we got to tell you about two of our awesome sponsors. I'm going to start with the one you see on our ticker here is the Arkansas Premier Paralegal in Northwest Arkansas. Very excited to have these guys. They're awesome group. And they're not just here for us and our benefit. They're here for you, right? In an independent contractor that's located in Northwest Arkansas. They specialize in divorce, expungement, unlawful detainee, as well as criminal defense. They provide negotiable pricing for both private attorneys and to the general public. With over 10 years of experience, they are capable of assisting your legal needs in a professional and courteous manner. So you can give them a call today, 479-684-6248, or you can just search them up on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, it's an easy click over there. Arkansas Premier Paralegal on Facebook for more information. That's Arkansas Premier Paralegal. Give them a shout today. And then we're super excited. And I'm gonna let you ring this one out.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm literally excited to bring this up, man. These guys, this family is amazing, man. The food, amazing. Everything about this is y'all just wait. Y'all just wait. Y'all go check them out. This is food truck de El Chefe. Okay? De El Chefe. All right. This is a Mexican cuisine. A family-owned and operated restaurant located at the Springdale Municipal Airport on the second floor. They specialize in authentic Mexican cuisine. Some of their top sellers are the quesadilla plate, the triple OG, which is the triple stack quesadilla. Outdoor seating, if you want to go sit out, you want to go sit outside, they got outdoor seating for you. They also they give you the up close personal with the planes, man. You get up there and you can sit out there, man. Get lunch, dinner, you get it all. Man, contact them at 479-334-7410. Again, that is 479-334-7410 for your to-go orders as well. DoorDash available for surrounding areas. Now, I'm going to say this. I've had this food before. Y'all are missing out if you really want some real, authentic Mexican food. These people, this family, they know what they're doing. Shout out to Manny Gonzalez. Shout out to JD Guns. Shout out to Manny's wife, Angie. Shout out to the whole food truck, the El Chefe. Thank you for being a sponsor of Fanatic Sports Talk.
And with that, man, we're so thankful to have all of our sponsors. And before we go, please don't hesitate. Give us a shout. Give yourself a chance and give your business a chance. Let our fan base that's passionate see your logo, your business, everything you're doing, man. We got so much more in store. And before we go, I definitely got to throw this comment out here, man. my man Mark from Bootheel Sports said, add some money to the swear jar, baby. But we can't say thank you enough for Mark, man.
Mark, I just want to say thank you, man. You are a riot. Not only do I appreciate you just getting on here and being your personal self, you didn't look nervous at all. You were awesome. You were amazing. You are one hell of a funny dude, by the way.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and you were more angry than I was today, so I had to try to beat that today. And I don't know if I did that, but I came close. I think I came close. I think I came.
You got close. You got close.
No, look, Mark got me beat.
And on that note, for Mark Manley, for the angry Puerto Rican Anthony Roman, to everybody at the Fanatic Sports Podcast, all of our fans and people who joined us, and those who hopefully will be joining us again, we can't say thank you enough. God bless you. Stay safe.
Also, real quick, shout out again to my nephew, Dante Obar Wooten, for being a horrible Giants fan. I am sorry. I hope you see this. I hope you text me and tell me this. Your team sucks. Stop being a Giants fan. Just come on over to Washington. We'll take you.
The Fanatic Sports Podcast.